class with Nicole. Today is the 29th of May. Did it stick? Good evening. Can you?
Hi.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. How are you today? We haven't met last week.
I am. I'm fine, thank you.
You're fine, thank you.
Nico always say she hates when she ask students, how are you? If they say I'm fine, thank you.
Because normally when someone says, "How are you?" they're gauging the closeness or proximity of relationships that you have with them. If a person says, "I'm fine, I'm good," an unusual answer is a good answer because that reflects the closeness of your self to the person being talked to. But they say, "I'm good, good." It's like
Because
question.
in
Yes.
our student book,
Mm-hmm.
English student book,
Uh-huh.
the lesson 1, unit 1, always, how are you? I'm fine,
Ah,
thank you. And you?
oh, because it's like routinary, right? That's why
Everyone
she
is that she
doesn't
hates
like it much. How about you? How do you feel when someone asks, "How are
someone
you?"
what?
Yeah,
How are you?
when someone asks you how you are.
I will say, uh, what I did today, what I did
Hmm.
today, and how I feel today.
Which is, I feel
I'm
good.
Yeah, but nothing special. Just study and go to work and went to work.
When
And
do you think, yes,
mm, nothing.
you have a routine, right?
Routine.
Yeah,
Yes.
work and study.
Yes.
How do you
Study.
feel, or yeah, how do you feel about your routine? Study, work, work, study.
It's good because I can spend my time on what I should do.
Okay.
Mm,
So that means you see it as a good part of time management,
yes.
right? Having a routine. Some don't like to be on a routine because it's like something that's repetitive. Now, in the future, you'll achieve what you need, which is probably to have better position in terms of work. Uh, what kind of routine would be the next? Uh, what next one that you anticipate to do or have after this routine? Right now, it's study work. What if you're done with your studies and you achieved your marks for the exam that you're preparing for? What's next?
Actually, I'm not sure.
What do you mean by not sure? Can
Um,
you tell me your status at this point in time compared to your like plans, your life goals?
life goals. I I just want to finish my exam first.
Hmm.
I don't
What happens after you pass the exam for the accounting? It's like a licensure exam for accountancy, maybe,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay, what happens after that?
But because I'm thinking if I will do the work in accounting field,
Hmm.
yes,
Or
or just try the other things
like,
like I like to do works that can talk to people more.
hmm,
I think that is more suit su-
suitable
suitable
for you?
for me. Yes, actually, I think I am also my brain. I am also suitable to accounting because
Okay.
I know
Hmm. I think you
mm,
like analysis work.
another what?
Analysis. Work with thinking, with logic,
Yes,
understanding something.
I can do that,
Hmm.
and I think I'm good at that.
Hmm.
But because I like to talk
Hmm.
and uh what's that? If I can talk to people more,
Hmm.
that can make me feel more energetic.
Hmm.
Mm.
Do you think it would be nice for you to become a teacher of that course?
Actually, I have thought that before,
Hmm.
but I'm
And
not sure if I
mhm,
can. And one thing I am considering is because the children in Taiwan is less
are
and less are children in Taiwan
okay.
are less and less.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if this is a good choice.
Why do you have to think of children of Taiwan being lesser and lesser?
Because if I were a
Hmm.
teacher, a teacher, and the children become less and less lesser,
Hmm.
less and less,
Lesser and lesser.
lesser and lesser, and the teachers will be much more than students.
So
So, so, there will be too many teachers and no
you're
students.
thinking it's more uh competitive to become a teacher in the future.
Mm, yes, yes.
If you're an economist trying to place a lot of teachers, yes, your fear can become true. But if you're just one teacher and your goal is to have a class to teach and you become good at what you do in the future,
What do you mean? Why?
example, if I would think of I'd like to be an English teacher, but there are already a lot of English teachers, and there
Yes.
will become a time when there are more students than students that be required to teach. Then maybe I will not have any opportunity for myself. That's not gonna be true.
Why?
I am an English teacher, and I can choose to leave public school, but I don't want to leave yet. We create the environment that we have for ourselves only. We cannot guarantee the environment for everyone. If you love to do something and you're happy about it, you don't have to excuse yourself just because you're happy and others are not. You want to communicate with people and you like both accountancy and communicating. So the nicest thing I could think of is to explain your passion to people who would need it, like accounting students, math students. And it's more challenging if you take on foreign students
Yes.
because yeah,
It is.
you're capable, like in an international school. First, you'll be very difficult to replace, or if you get to into government, you will not be replaced unless you go. In my country, in order for you to be in a public school, you need to be the best of the examiners. Oh, sorry, examinees. And then once you get the position, you don't need to worry anymore. That's lifelong teaching. If I wanted to, they cannot push me to leave. I
But
can
I can't
volunteer to leave. Yeah.
I can't work in public school
Hmm.
because we have to have the related what's
Related studies.
yes,
In my
yes.
case, like me, I'm not originally a public school teacher of English. My field is psychology. So my license is for values education. I wanted to be an English teacher by license, but my principal told me it's not necessary. You're doing the job that you like in public school for English. I'm an English teacher. I'm a licensed teacher, but not for English. I can sacrifice my license so I can have a public school English teaching card or ID, but it's not necessary. I don't need to prove anything. I get what I prefer. So, if you like to talk, what kind of conversation do you like? Like with me, I like to talk and answer questions and be able to explain it so that the person I'm talking to easily understands and uses that understanding for a better life. And I'm happy when I do that. Now, what kind of communication makes you happy? Because not every type of communication will make you happy. Maybe you like communication talking to a child or to an adolescent,
Oh,
like a teenager, or
oh,
to
I
people
can I can talk to people in every age.
in all ages
Yes,
or in each age.
in all
Each age.
ages. Yeah,
Because if you say every age, there is a category in right in front of you. Every age. Example, your school um, offers 6 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 to 20. Those are categories of ages. Now you can say every age if that's the situation, but in your case, you're talking about age of people in general, right? You can say all ages. So, what type of communication makes you enjoy the most?
life, anything.
You can be a counselor. Like, uh, this is what I've learned in life itself. You cannot be too prepared academically for something that you like to do. When you like to do something, you find that thing and you try to make yourself be better at it. Like me, I like talking and talking and talking and exploring um, people's lives like you. That there has to be a topic that is both useful and interesting. I cannot just talk and the other person unless it's like relationship, like romantic relationship or friendship. But if you like to talk about people's troubles, helping them move on, see a better perspective. You can be a psychologist. My point is, we have done life because people have done a certain path. Like in your case, oh, if you want to be successful, like in Chinese culture, you can either be a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, or an accountant. They are like predictable career paths for
Yeah.
them. But just that's just a path that others have taken because it's according to uh their life, their preference. But these days, you can be happy not following the path that others have done. You can do your own path. Now, as early as you are young as now, think what makes me do something over and over that does not make me tired and instead makes me happy and enjoy that thing. And also I could earn a living from that. But the truth is, if you are an expert on something, if you do something so well, it will be not difficult for you to find employment or even business, career. So think, what it is it that I can offer that makes me happy and unique for that? Like many people can become accountants, but what kind of an accountant makes you unique and difficult to have because you have that thing, that special thing that makes you not easily replaceable. Like you like languages, right?
Yes.
So, what languages have you tried to speak?
Try to speak Korean,
Mm-hmm.
Japanese. I
Okay.
learned I learned French and Japanese in when I was in college.
Yes. So, that means your place, even if you're local, can cater to the international market. You can do financial relations, global economics, because you're flexible. Language is very powerful. The reason why you like to talk is because you want to express yourself in different mediums, and languages are mediums. So, so maybe you can become a licensed accountant, but the specialty that you offer can be for an international company having branches, because people think that being an accountant is just with numbers. No, people who are good in accounting can be good problem solvers, right? And the problem is not purely economic. Sometimes the problem is emotional for people. And if you know a language that that person talks in, it empowers you to be more capable than others. Because language entails culture, how you speak, how you explain something, makes you a gem for that particular person. You don't need to serve everyone. You just need to serve the one that you like. And even if you repeat that thing that you do, it's not going to make you bored. Then maybe that's the thing that makes you happy. Now,
But I have to try more, right?
not necessarily more. You just have to know which ones work for you. Like right now, I am diversifying. Uh, my goal right now is to make more money because I'm getting older. I can only cater one class because I don't want to have class with no meaning. Like, I don't want to have five students, different students with common issues. and I will just be facilitating, giving them lectures with something that they can already learn by themselves. I don't have satisfaction with that. I like to find students with personal struggles. Like, I can't explain what I like, but I know what I like. I can serve one person who's so powerful, who has a more difficult problem that cannot be solved by just Googling. I want to solve a problem of someone who can have a significant uh, application of that problem. Like example, like you are an accountant, you or would be a certified accountant. I have lawyers who can Google English, but there are specific situations that they need a person to talk to, not to understand the concept, but to know the implications of actions for that concept or problem. Then I feel useful because I feel like instead of that person struggling on his or her own, I I became instrumental to solve the problem and find their issues. Like I have one Taiwanese student. I only have class with him like once a week, but when he has a business trip to the US, it's almost every day and on call. So he pays me a special fee, but he would call me like 30 minutes or 20 minutes almost. He would tell me if I can be available, and then he pays me just to ask, what is this situation? What are the meanings of this situation? I feel special because I am the go-to of that person. We don't always meet every day. Sometimes in a week, he will not attend. He will say, Jen, this one, like, um, count this class, uh, but I won't be attending because I'm busy. So the point is, I get money, yes, but I deliver value to in terms of service to that person. So I want to multiply myself so that I can reach more people who are with specific needs like this. So most of them are businessmen or into a stage where they're going to change their lives. Probably they're making a decision for an MA or for a PhD. Like I have a Bangladeshi student who has two master's degree from uh, Germany and Milan. So he's now finishing his second master so he can do his PhD. He dreams of having a PhD in Harvard University, but his language skills are not yet tailored to deliver. He's a researcher. He's supposed to present his studies and he can pronounce some words. So there are people who struggle with this. They have good brains, but lack the ability to express the ideas in such a way that the other person will be able to understand them. So for him, accent training or Googling or regular classes will not work because they have special needs. There are times when they have a concept they don't have a word for, but if you make them do it, they're better doing the thing. Or like I have a scientist who explains some reactions of chemicals. At first, I don't understand. But imagine if they have the ability to communicate their knowledge and their logical ideas. It'll make a lot of change. So I'm looking for these type of people, but I will not be able to find them if I just do regular posting for job posts, right? I get these kinds of students because colleagues refer me to others, but that's limited. I need to create a means so others will discover me what on their own. I can have a better reach. That's my plan. I'm not even uh, a master's degree holder of English yet. No. But I'm thinking maybe I don't need to pursue my master's because people, uh, I don't know, we cater a certain solution for people. Now, your thing is what specific problem can I solve that I can offer value for that person? Like before, I look for students who are taking exams because for me, I can study the exam for them and break it down into easier parts. But I got bored. I feel like that is repetitive. That can be done by a book. If a person is easy, like I mean, if a person is crafty and they like to Google, they have the patience, they be able to understand, right? So try to find within yourself what thing can I only offer that creates a solution for something. Like all of us know English, all of us, there are many who study accountancy, finance, etc. But what problem will you be solving for your client? And what other added skills would you need to specially address that need? Example, some people do finance, accountancy, but do cryptocurrency or Bitcoin thing or trading because they know this event contributes to another event that can make them predict something in terms of the movement of economy, culture in relation to money. So, what do you like to do, and what kind of problems would you want to be a solution for? And then you can define your client. Your client can be a huge company, a multi-global company. Your client can just be one person, a CEO. You don't need to solve everyone's problem. Do not worry about being employed because you will surely be employed. Now, the question is, what kind of employment would you like to have? If it's just a minimum wage job, it's easy. Your value is predicted by your irreplaceability. If someone can replace you easily, you're not that valuable. But the more unique you are, the the more difficult the problems you can solve for your particular niche or your particular client. Client can be a school, a CEO, a person. That's the thing you need to what you need to solve. So what is it that you like to do that is a solution for others and also makes you happy? Because I don't like numbers. I don't like to think of like, but I like possibilities, knowing possibilities. I had a colleague before. I asked her, why do you like numbers? She's a statistician, someone who predicts things because of possibility of the data analytics. Now their job is replaceable with AI.
Mm.
I asked her, why do you like numbers? For me, it gives me a headache just seeing them. And then she says, I like gambling. Huh? Number for me makes me discover the possibility. Computing is not a problem anymore because there are machines to do that. But The ability to see the performance of the data and be able to make decisions from those numbers makes me unique, she said. What makes you unique? You do one thing, you just look at numbers.
Actually,
Huh.
when I was a student,
Mm-hmm.
my math was really, really good. I
Mm-hmm.
always got number one or
Okay.
number two of the class, or
Uh-huh.
even the the all grade,
Oh,
the all grade. Yes, and I'm really good. I was really good at math. I like numbers.
yes. But
Yeah.
it's not just the numbers. There's something that,
You know, when
mhm,
I every time when there was an exam, like a midterm exam
mhm,
or anything, and before the if next exam was math,
mhm,
and all of my classmates were nervous of the test exam
eh,
because it was math, and
mhm.
I always slept or just sit on
It's
my
not a
chair.
thing for you to worry about.
Yeah, it was too easy for me,
Mhm.
and I like the process of solving the problem.
Yes, trying to know the solution.
Yes, and
Mhm,
if I solve it, and it's always not a what what's that? It's really easy for me, so
mhm,
I didn't worry for my math. I
mhm.
always didn't. Oh, I yes, and I don't know. I just like the process. If I saw a problem
Yes.
and it looked hard,
Uh-huh. For others,
yes, and I would be excited for
uh-huh. Because you're
for
unique. You can have a solution. And she said that, imagine the world needs a question to be answered, and I can be that person to tweak. It's not just the numbers, she said. I actually don't like numbers, but it's the process, knowing the process of what to do to arrive at a solution. That is what I can offer, she said. So
and
I can do
mm,
magic with data. So
so to
mhm,
if I do one thing,
mhm.
or if I when now I'm study, I always want to know the meanings, the reason, the process of the questions. I don't
Also,
like
what is it gonna be used for, right? What
yes,
problems can it solve? Mm.
yes, and I don't like to just memorize it because it's hard for me. I want to know the reasons why. Yes.
And when you don't know how to memorize, you try to know the relationship, then you get to remember, not
Yes.
memorize, right?
That's how I study.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like language. If it's language for love, this is the word that you use. In it, if it's this language for statistics, you use division or this process or this formula. Remembering the formula becomes a story, not
Yes.
a thing to be memorized. It's like a story to be understood. So
So
it makes, mhm,
actually,
yes,
learning English and math is not my it's not really hard for me when I was a student. It's
because
just like society or
it's
history.
predictable. Yeah, it's
They are
predictable.
hard for me. Couldn't remember it
For
then.
English and accountancy, there's a formula, right? There's a way for you to know the answer because there are standards or patterns. So
So
knowing how to put together that pattern makes you unique.
yeah, so I want to make myself unique in maybe the field I want to be in the future,
Yes. And
no
what is
matter
that?
what
Yes. What is that field?
field. Mm,
Field. What is that field that you want to be in?
I'm still
Then, after you have decided that, you will know if this thing is useful for your end goal or not.
You know why I want to start learning English?
Hmm.
Because when I was in I worked in the accounting, what's that,
Department.
department before, right?
Hmm.
And I found that most of people there, most of people's English there were not good.
Yes, in such a way that, like, this is the equation, this is the story of the problem. You know the equation, but if you don't know the language to get to that equation, your equation skills are not going to be useful because you don't understand the problem because of
And
language barrier. Hmm.
the other reason is that actually I like learning English and
Hmm.
learning languages. I
Yes,
know that. I don't know. I like. I know. Maybe I'm not really good at language, but I like to learn languages.
because
So
it's empowering.
yeah, yes, and I want to learn more, and I want to I wanted to make myself. I wanted at this I could talk, I could express what I want to say.
Yes, your ideas. Hmm. There are
Yes.
people who can understand it. Like, I have had scientists and researchers who understand and know how to do it, but they cannot explain it to others. That's the problem,
So
right?
I want to make my English better. And after that, so my colleagues, they knew I'm learning English
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes I had to leave the office earlier, and
Mm-hmm.
they asked me what are you going to do, and I said I'm going to have English class. So they
Mm-hmm.
thought that my English is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So every time when there is some tasks about English, they
Mm-hmm.
always ask me to do that.
That other thing, getting involved and publicly having it known makes you someone with additional opportunities in
Yes.
the
So
future.
after that,
Huh?
my my um my colleagues, my manager always asks me to do some tasks related to English.
And
And
that will be easier for you than other tasks, I think. It gives you a little freedom more than others.
and when when I was doing that, I felt more powerful.
Felt,
I
yeah,
felt more
adds
powerful
to your
because
confidence.
I was doing something that other people couldn't do.
It
Couldn't
couldn't
do.
do, but
Yeah.
even if it's elementary for you, because they don't have a background, they're left there. I mean, they're left in that field or in that enclosed area where when all those coverings will be taken off just because you know it better, a little better than them, right?
Yes. So
Mhm.
that's what I wanted to learn. I want to learn English. Keep
Mhm.
learning English.
Yes.
Because
So not just English, but other languages as well.
I want
So,
to learn, actually, I want to learn Japanese or
mhm,
French in the future. But French is
okay.
a little bit hard for me.
Everything is hard,
Yeah,
but
but
it's the start and the what? You need to find a teacher who's passionate in teaching the language carefully, not just like online learning on
mm-hmm.
YouTube. No. Um, a good teacher makes it easy for you to know what material to start with, and then it can transition so you can be self-sufficient. Yeah, it's hard to find a teacher who will walk you to a path where you'll be independent. Most teachers want you to have class just with them. This topic, we move on to that topic next, based on them alone. But good teachers let you explore and wait for you to come back with a better question, a
Every time
challenging question. Mhm.
when I'm teaching kids, I don't like to just ask them to if they have to memorize the vocabulary, and I don't like they just write and
Mhm.
like mm, I want them know how
To
to
experience, yeah, based
yes
on
and why, not
uh,
just memorize it.
exactly that passion of yours is not just for teaching, it's for training people, it's for managerial work, supervisory work, or it's like we all get to be taught the same thing. Example for accountants, they all know the theories, but what makes you unique is the manner you present the ideas. Then later, after you empower those children, you will discover another method that works for you because you have gone through the same journey. Like me, I had difficulty learning sounds because my teacher just in the call center just keeps on repeating the thing until your ears get good at it. But if you know what happens inside, what touches what, and how to adjust that based on what they're used to, it expedites the process and eases the learning. Like if you can hear something and you keep on hearing it, it doesn't empower you to hear it back. But if you know how to produce the sound, even if you don't hear it yet, example L, R, N, G, K sound, example assess and access are spelled with almost similar sound, S and K and C. But if someone gets to be trained to produce the sound, not thinking of the letters, the sound becomes part of them and they will produce them almost perfect all the time because they are taught like babies how to produce the sound. Later, they will be able to hear the sound even if you don't say it yet. If they see the letters, they know the combination, they be able to say it. So it takes more time to produce and learn, but when you get to learn it, it becomes part of you. Later, you don't worry about it anymore. So
Yes.
if someone gets to understand a process in such a way that it's effective for her and adjusts it to others' needs so it can be less painful and short term for learning, I mean, you are not paying the ability, you're paying the experience that will shorten your journey for helplessness. And you have that. Now, question: who or what market would you like to be as client?
Me,
Yes.
the
In
client,
my case, I like psychology and language. Right now, I am good at assisting people who are non-native speakers of English. Those are my target market. I just need to have more, but to have more, I have to share to people who don't need me yet, right? Like publicly, and so that those who need me will be able to find me and avail my services. You, in your case, who do you want to serve? Because when you decide who you'd like to serve, you'll have an idea of how much you want to earn. How comfortable would you like your life be? Then, what more skills can I learn that I also like? that will make my craft better. So think of that. That will lessen the things that you do that are not contributing directly to your goals. Like me, I don't need a master's degree. I don't want to serve a school anymore. I want to serve specific groups, a specific group, or a specific type of person or people. In my case, businessmen and people who are academically progressing from college to mass MA or PhD. Those will be my market. And I don't need to have a master's degree because I already know the process over and over. And life is my teacher. I have learned from it. Through the troubles of the students that I have, it becomes my material for learning. Now, the thing that might be able to help me is do the test myself. If I wanted to, say, offer a course for IELTS or TOEIC or TOEFL, I can do that if I do the test myself. But instead of doing an MA, if my purpose is for earning money from this route, I'll aim for a perfect grade or near perfect grade for that because people think if I can score it perfectly or almost perfectly, I can teach it better. But that's not true. In real life, it's not. There's a difference between you being able to achieve it and you being able to explain it so others will be able to achieve it. Those are two different things. But in my case, people believe that if you can score it, you can teach it. So if I were to spend my money and time, I'm going to take the exam itself and then offer a course for that. But I'm past that. I don't need that. I need that better than an MA. So I would not proceed with my MA. My work is a proof in itself. So I can even create the course for MA if I wanted to. So my concentration right now to make my craft better is to just make myself public
Mm-hmm.
so others will know I can do this. And then I can create a mini course that others will benefit, but those of my target market will really know my value, that they want to have one-on-one class with me. That's my target. So, like you, if people know within your community that you speak English and you're an accountant, that makes you level up more than others, right? Now, your experience will be able to add to your target client that makes your fee or your value better. The reason why some I can ask someone to pay me better, uh, right? Like right now, I charge between $30 to $40 a student. Of course, I value old students, so I don't change my rate for my old students because I see them as friends, right? So they only pay me not because they just want to waste money. They see the value of what I can offer. And example, if they hire me on call, I like all the time they can just tell me 30 minutes in advance and then I can prepare for the problem that they have, not necessarily just for language. Sometimes the problem that they have is in psychology or finance that may not make me all knowing for that, but I can give them an idea of how to do that and then ask my other people, probably my friends or my other students, to have a clue of the terminology of what it's about. So it's not just the hour that you are paying. It's the value of that person, because I have handled exam preparations, what accent reduction. It's not just one thing, it's a complicated thing in in a piece. So like you, right now, if you have an interview, it's not just like, oh, let's Google for an interview. No, what's the job description? What's the aim of this? What will happen after this interview? What what are the telltale signs that you can do this, or telltale signs that you don't need this job? Because as job seekers are looking for employees, you are also looking for a better opportunity. It's not you and them, it's between you and them, trying to maximize the opportunity. And if the person treats you like you are going to be a slave and you trust your gut feel, you don't settle for less. That's why you always want to know, what is my value? What am I looking for? The more detailed information you have about your plans, the better decisions you're going to make. Because before, if you're needy, you're just going to grab anything, the first thing that comes. But if you have a plan, there may be opportunities that are less paying or less money for now, but more opportunities because you've learned some craft from them. It's a good thing to have on your resume, also for your skill set. Then go, because you don't have, well, like you have life goals, and there are little goals, stepping stones that will make you arrive to that main goal. Right now, what is your main goal? What are the things that you are putting together or studying about going to contribute to your end goal,
to
right?
to
Like,
to
yes, two.
to have mm, to live a life.
Mhm.
I, I want to
Okay, so
want
to
to
live a
buy
quality
what
of
I want
life,
to
that
buy, and I want to go where I want to go.
okay, to live a life that's very comfortable and you want to go where you want to go. Now, I have this principle when where it says if there's a number, there's a possibility. If you say I want to live my life comfortably, that's vague. That's not clear. Example for me, my goal this year is to have at least what $100 an hour average, and I just want to work 2 hours a day. That's
Mm,
my goal.
mm,
How much would I like to earn? Then I would base that to example. I just want to earn like $3,000 a month because I just want to have a non-stressful life. Then your monthly goal is just like that. But I want to travel and go wherever I want if I have to. What will entitle me to do that? So I need to be a good problem solver for certain companies. If I want to travel and do whatever I like, I need to be accessible globally. My job has um, should not be restricted with the constraints of um, physical space,
mm,
right? So I need to have a client. I can be a consultant for how many business do I want? Each business should pay me this much. And will I offer an hourly rate, or I will ask for a fee solution based for their requirement? It's like you choose. Do you want to be an employee monthly paid by a company, or do you want to get paid by a company based on the results that you can deliver? And then based on the results that you can deliver, how long will that take you? Like I have students who started as employees who are paid monthly. And I asked them, what solution can you offer? What solution are you good at? And what solution are you willing to learn more about that particular skill? They learned, some of them learned that they don't need to know how the skills, or they don't need to do the actual skill. They just need to know how to do the skill so they can logically think and put the little skills together, have someone else do that little skill for them, make a profit of that, and then they can live life comfortably. The goal that I mostly get from students is, I want to be free from the workspace. I want to travel. I don't want to wait for a leave after 3 4 months. That's the time I can go. I just want to go monthly. I want to go out or be with my family, celebrate the birthdays that I haven't celebrated with my parents or whatnot. So I asked them, if you wanted to be like a global job, you should not be employed monthly. If you want to be employed monthly, you can find a job that's international or global, but will require you to have 8 hours of work. So, will you like that, or would you like to be a solutions provider? If you do, what problem would you like to solve? Then, like, oh, like finance or global, there's this course for global economics or something like that. It has finance and a little of accountancy. So what they do is they they answer questions for CEOs related to finances. So they do research for banks, how much is the rate, something like, and then they create uh, a plan for a company, if they will buy it or not, things like that. So his job is to do research for a particular question that CEO is interested in. So what he does is he knows how to solve the problem, but he will not do the little things that he can assign to people whom they can pay regular fees. And he earns 7 times more than his previous job, and he doesn't need to work 8 hours. Maximum he work is 2 to 4 hours. But most of the challenging things are to attend the call. That's complicated to have because you need to know the skill that you need for that particular client that you want to serve. Because your skill can be outsourced. Your skill can be outsourced, but your thinking or analytical ability can make a difference. I'm sure there's something repetitive in terms of accountancy. You just give a person who's a basic learner of accountancy, and then you give them the procedure, and then you tell them how to arrive at the value that you're looking for. And then all you want from them is a report of what this thing will lead to. You don't give them 8 hours. You just tell them this is the result, and I'll pay you this much if I get the result around this time. And then you put together those things that you wanted from others, compile it as your own uh, what result of analysis, then present it to your client. The reason why you're learning little pieces of skills is not for you to do that skill, but to document how to do that. Like right now, I I lost 10 years of my files because of a ransomware. But I'm slowly building my materials so I can create content so others can learn from the mistakes of my students, and then maybe I can find that sophisticated student who has uh, like a problem that's very difficult. Then I can be their solution. In your case, I'd like you to think, what kind of solution would like to offer? Who will this person or company be? It's like, what kind of employer or client do I like? And then what problems will I solve for them? You need to have just one niche, one specific type of client. Because, example, one is in manufacturing, one is in services. You have a lot to learn. But if you start with just a specific niche, what accounting problems will they have? So I can analyze it, so I can provide a specific solution. Now, once another client comes with that special niche, your solve problem solving skills get elevated for the next client, because something has a pattern, something is routinary. You think English teaching is difficult? No, once you get to uh, learn uh, a problem, you create a process of solving that problem. I know you're sleepy, but I want you to document your journey.
Oh, no, no,
Yeah.
no, I'm thinking, I'm
All right.
thinking.
So document what, when you don't have anyone and you have a lot of time, you try to break down like a process. What kind of problem can this solve? What particular person or company would need this service? And then try to find someone or a person who is willing to pay you half the price of your rate to do, they are your guinea pigs. They will do the experiment part as live experiments for you. But what you're, the reason why you're asking for a fee when you can offer it as free is because when people invest money on it, no matter how little, they will do it. I mean, they will do it with quality. Like in my case, when I was still studying or learning how to do exams like IELTS, TOEIC, TOEFL, I experienced offering it for free. There are many people who like it for free, but not all of them will continue to learn with passion if it's for free. People think, I have not invested money on it, I can waste it. So
Oh,
whenever I come across a student whom I think I really could help, I don't give it for free. Why? Because that student will not see the value of the training. But for people who I offered, like, okay, I'm going to give you 50% discount, but you have to agree so I can have like rights to publish our classes. Then they will think only a few person agree. And in my experience, if they paid money, they work harder for it than if when it's for free.
oh,
Yeah. So, but this time when they pay, because they're gonna have like commitment, they prefer not to pay 50%, but they prefer to pay full percent because I don't want my privacy to be invaded. I'm gonna be a famous and important person in the future. If this teacher has the ability to publish my rookie years or my learning process, they think that it will not be good for them in the future. So they prefer to pay because they see the value of themselves, not the money, because they will make the money anyhow in the future, right? Like you, um, nothing is ever cheap. $15 is not cheap. Everything is expensive. But you are not paying for the hour, you are paying for the future opportunities that something can bring you, right? And people don't see that. Why are
Mm.
you wasting money? You can just Google. If you want to talk to a foreigner, even you can even talk to a native. Go to this free site. It's like, how much time will you waste to find someone that you like, end up not having that person? So when someone tells you you're too expensive, oh, yes, I am. I confirm that because not everyone can be your client. As early as now, you have to think I deserve better. And as long as I'm very crystal clear of the number for that client, like example, I need to have a client who has this number of employees or this number of this um, earning capacity per annum. You have to define your target market. How much would I like to earn or charge? Why would I charge this much for it to be reasonable for others? What will I be able to offer or include in the service? And what experiences and skill sets are necessary for me to have or for others whom I know who needs to have? Your communication skills is a huge key to your success. You need to have, not because they're all accountants, doesn't mean you're a competition to them. No. Develop close ties with people who have the same field as yours because you can multiply yourself through them. You can pay them, but know how to put together everything. And then you can give them what they deserve, but you can equally have better that you deserve because of them. Like example, if I have co-teachers before, I'd ask them, teacher, can you write me this lesson plan? And then I could pay them. They think it's good because it's just a few minutes of their time. But if I do that, how much will it cost me? I would rather pay them 20, 30% of my rate so I can do more or rest,
Mm.
right? So keep connecting to people, not just in Taiwan, globally. Connect to software engineers. People are instrumental to getting what you want. The people are a good source of ideas.
People,
People
not.
skills and communication skills. Every connection that you make is a future opportunity, right? You can be
Mm.
recommended,
Mm.
right? Oh, a native teacher is having problem with this and they can't solve it with their taxes or with their finances. Can you help him? He's my friend. Then you have an instant client, right?
Mm.
You
Yeah.
can you can practice your skills right now and make money and have someone help you make that money. Example, I have students. I tell them write an essay. Don't use AI. Just I need like an essay that is fixable, like with errors. I don't want to create my own because I'm gonna have a problem faking my skill. So if I have one and then oh thank you, you have a sample. You pay them for something that college students are very useful. So example, you can offer like tax audit for a a person with a small business. You can give your card starting with like, I can give you 50% of the amount, but charge them 3 times. And then the 50% is more than what you need. And then give half of that to the person who will do that for you in detail. Collect the information. Of course, you will not just pass it through. You'll check it. It's like you are not going to do it manually. You're just going to give instructions. Later, you will be good at s- setting instructions. When you have a job, you don't need to repeat writing the instructions. You just copy the part of the instructions, like, and then this is what I need you to do. And this is the process I'd like you to do. This is the software I'd like you to do. After you do this, you enter it in this sheet or file format. That file format for you is easy because in such a way that you have crafted it, you'll just copy paste the information to get the result because you already have a predetermined Excel sheet or an app. So what takes you days to do will just make you days to finish because someone will enter it at the format that you have um, crafted. And then later you can have an engineer, a software guy who can do the plan for you. Later, your client will just enter the data, and then it takes you just minutes to analyze the data that they want based on the question or the problems that they have. And then within minutes or seconds, they can have the solution. And the shorter you spend on solving the problem, the higher your pay gets. Because you're solving the same problem over and over. You get to be good at it. Like me, before, I'm now in my fifth year. Before, when I have grades, it takes me my whole household. Even my husband helps me with checking and entering the grades. Now, I I told my it's not even paid. I told my student I need this. Oh, I'm gonna do that for you. And then they help me with like this is the Excel sheet. You put the score here, and it becomes this table. It becomes this card. I just have to copy. And then my co-teachers ask me, "Can I have a copy of that?" Someone worked hard for me for this. So I asked that engineer, software engineer, can you do it in such a way that before they can edit the information, they have to like have a password so I can enter the name, the section, and the access extension of that in the field? Oh, yes. Okay, how much will you charge if this is one blah, blah, blah? Just blah, blah, blah. So I don't earn money for that person, but once I give him the problem, and my other co-teachers said, I also want to do this. It's a small fee to pay. Can you ask your friend to give me blah, blah, blah? Later, he gives me the file, gives me entitlement for the password to change the thing. And I tell my co-teachers, oh, I'll enter this to you, just $10. Okay, here's $10. Because the trouble that $10 could, I have 100 co-teachers. How much is that $10?
Uh-huh.
1,000, right? So I give 500 to the guy who did the Excel thing with password protection. I keep 500. Uh, if I needed him to tweak something on it because every year something changes, I don't pay extra. I just tell him, change this.
Mhm.
And then he knows there will be future business. I don't like this process of earning money, but it creates help for a friend, right? So if I give it directly to him, it will not be good communication between them. There's so many people to talk to. Here, when I have an Excel sheet, Teacher Jen, I'd like to have an Excel sheet for that. Can you ask your friend to customize it for us? I'll ask. So it 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 becomes better. for me and for others because of the ties that you make. Now, in your field, you need to create value for others so you can help them. In return, that value comes back to you. Oh, this time I have an accountancy thingy related. Can you have a solution for this? Start from this moment to be a problem solver. Get your connections, ask them who needs this service. That service is easy for you because you know how to do it, and ask someone like a student to do that for you. Little by little, you get good at that specific problem. Like in your work, what is the common problem or yeah issue that you have with paper or documents in accounting?
Mm, mm,
Yes.
everything takes time,
Yes. Everything takes time.
a lot of
Now,
time.
yes, a lot of time, but that can be listed as a procedure, right? Right now, for every job that you make, list the procedure in such a way that even someone who's not technical will be able to manipulate the data and get what you need, the basic things. Now, for the more complicated things, that's your job. That's what you get paid for, the solution for the problem, right? I have to go. I have a student in another minute. And do you have any
No, I
questions?
like, I like,
You like what?
I like, I learned a lot.
Yes. And don't be satisfied in feeling good. While you're feeling good, write plans. Write them on a notebook because your feeling will go away. The day will end. But when you write on a notebook, you will remember, oh, this is my plan. I'd
Like,
like to start my first project. I'd like to have a freelance work. Go on social media. Ask, have you ever have problems with your taxes? Here's what you need to do. And then they will provide the data. Would you like to have a better way of having this with less headache? Maybe I can help. I
mhm,
charge 5,000 for this one, but if you can give me more clients, I will just charge 25% of my fee. All you have to do is to have a testimony. Example, in my pet shop, my taxes are a problem. Uh, Cary helped me. And then there's a picture of you. Just
mhm,
one problem, and then do it 10 times. Make good pattern of making the money for it. So later you can automate that problem solving skill. The more problem that you make, the lesser time it will take you, right? So my goal for my forms will be recommended for other schools because they
mhm,
have my co-teachers will have friends from other schools,
mhm,
right? So
mhm,
little by little, even if it's just a small amount of money, my student is saying hi on the other box. All right. So share your discoveries for the next week. I'd like to hear what you have already tried and what
already tried
yeah.
in this week.
Yes. On the weekends you will be with your friends. Ask your friend, what are your personal problems that I can help with accounting? Like me, my husband has problem with budget. You can have him create an Excel sheet to easily enter the data and compute something that you can offer a small solution for. We can talk about that later. Go out with your friend, ask them what are the problems that are accounting related, right? You take care. Good night. Bye bye.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.